during that time.
Well, it seems pretty. I could understand, is what I'm trying to say, that if you were to put your own needs on the back burner at the time,
right.
because you were caring for your daughter and your family, and not wanting to make it about you or whatever.
Exactly. But through the advocacy work I've done and volunteering, like right now I'm a peer mentor for the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation, and I'm a mentor for
What is that?
It's a national nonprofit that Christopher Reeve founded years ago for research and support.
Christopher Reeve. Okay, I misunderstood at first.
Yes.
Superman.
Yes, yes. And he had a spinal cord injury. And
that was from a horse riding accident, right?
Exactly. And he set up this foundation to support research and to support families. It's a wonderful nonprofit. And so my small role in that is to be a peer mentor for other moms who have kids with spinal cord injuries. Because that initial time can be so devastating, and it's so critical to not turn to isolation and
self-loathing.
Well, and despair, in a sense. Like there's losing hope. Losing hope can go along with that isolation pretty easily. And also to understand that there are possibilities and options and doors that you can open, to kind of, for another kind of life that you would not have picked perhaps, of course, but can be a good life nonetheless.
Hindsight's 20/20, right?
Right, exactly.
And what you're doing with your life now is something you probably never expected to do 20 years ago, but, I mean, would you change it for anything now?
No, I wouldn't. And, it's interesting, Beth wouldn't either. And that's, I think you'd have to know her to understand that completely. But her whole life since the accident has been
serendipity.
Yes, very good. Perfect. Yeah, that's the perfect word. It really has. Some people have a gift for attracting serendipity. She certainly does. But also, there's another component of that, and it's also that persistence, and it's that working hard to achieve a goal, and that we all have the opportunity to do. So, right,
everyone's good at something, right?
Exactly, and finding your passion is so important, because that's, I think, what adds meaning to our lives and
gives us a sense of purpose,
right,
and makes us feel good, like we're leaving a legacy.
Right.
So did Beth get into Harvard because of swimming, because of being on a swim team, or academics, or both?
Well, yeah, I think both. But I think what I guess I was trying to say before with how the swimming influenced that is it also started. She was a shy, quiet kid before the accident, and she gradually, with this injury and with making these small gains and small progress, and figuring out how to swim, she gained confidence. And I think that was also a key component to getting into Harvard for her. To be able to go to an interview like she did, and just be excited to talk to the guy about the volunteer work she's doing, and about swimming, and about her life, and about possibilities, and what she wanted to do in the future. And that's what I would love to see, all teenagers with spinal cord injuries, find your passion and find your confidence. Not easy. I'm not saying it's easy. It's not. Because you're dealing with so many other things, just trying to get your body to do what you want it to do. But there are possibilities.
Most of us, we look back, and at the time of going through the most tragic things of our lives, it sucks. It's the worst thing ever. But then later on, those are the most proud moments that we go through later on, looking back and saying, I did that. Right. I made it through that, and it wasn't easy. And I think that's what's really a big confidence builder is when we have the ability to surprise ourselves and say,
exactly.
wow, I did that. I could do that. And what else can I do? And like how Dawn said that she's like, don't tell me what I can't do. Tell me what I can do.
Right.
And she wanted to see. I mean, overcoming just
limits.
even... And that's a big confidence builder. It's great for self-esteem.
It is. That certainly was a big part of my story because after the accident, I couldn't talk about the story. I couldn't stand in front of a group and tell about, the power of hope or the fact that there is hope even when you can't see it.
Yeah, because, the situation that you must have been feeling at the time,
right. Well,
it's hard for anyone to even think about, put yourselves in your shoes at that time. And it turned out great, but at the time
Right. Exactly. And, there's still a lot of people in the spinal cord injury community where there's still so much anxiety about, what's going to happen tomorrow health-wise. Now, I believe that with Beth, she was so focused early on learning to swim, becoming a better swimmer, and part of that she understood, her coaches were telling her, and she understood, was being as healthy as possible. She took that seriously, and I believe all of that combined have, she's healthy. She's she wheels 25 minutes to work, one way. Those things, I think, have been the difference that Beth and the family, we're not worrying every day, oh my God, is she going to be in the hospital tomorrow? Is this going to happen? She's active. She knows how to avoid or how to reduce her risks, I guess I should say. And she's very aware of that. Like even if she's sitting at her desk at work, she's going to move her legs and make sure there's not she's not going to give a blood clot a chance to form there. She's very in tune with all that, and that has allowed that daily anxiety, which was horrible for me. I don't know. She didn't ever really worry about it. I think teenagers think they're invulnerable. But a lot of the moms and parents I talk to, that's a definite issue. If you don't know if if there's going to be a deadly kind of health risk come up, if you're going to lose them. That was always a fear of mine, that those first 2 years.
And I just wanted to underline the swimming itself. She was getting up at 5:30 in the morning at Harvard and getting to the Blodgett pool early and swimming, an hour doing laps
at least.
For an hour and a half, and several times a week. And so this obviously physically just had a wonderful effect. That upper body, shoulders and strength that grew. And but also, I'm sure, just that de-stressing aspect of that kind of exercise also played a role. But
when she was at Harvard, she was the first one on the Harvard women's swimming and diving team with a visible disability or a physical disability.
First one ever?
Yeah,
wow.
And not alone, and in a wheelchair. So that was pretty incredible. Division I school, she'd never score a point, and they knew that. But there was a article in the NCAA magazine about her and some of the other Paralympians who swim on college teams, and they were talking about, there's an added level of excitement at the college meets when one of your swimmers is setting an American record. And Beth did that several times at Blodgett, and her teammates were just great. They'd be at the end of the lane cheering her on, and it was a great experience.
Yeah, those events were sanctioned, so
right, it all counted.
That almost brought a tear to my eye.
Yeah,
me too. When I watched a lot of those, I was very emotional.
I bet. And wow, you guys must be so proud. It's time for our second break, and we're going to get more into this, but we're late for a break because it's just so mesmerizing. Callers are still welcome to call in 866-826-1340, and we're going to go to our second break, and we'll be back with Moments of Clarity in just a moment.
We will return to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Warner after these messages.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Are you or your loved one suffering from addiction to drugs or alcohol? My name is Steven Sundquist, and I am a recovered addict. You are not alone. My team of dedicated professionals at All In Solutions Counseling Center is waiting to help you. With our evidence-based services, you can rely on us to help get your life back. We accept most major insurances and offer a variety of treatment options. Call now, 561-289-0779. Again, that number is 561-289-0779. 3 years ago, I made the call. Will you?
Are you looking for a great book? If you like to root for the underdog, Joe Potosi's book is a book for you. A real American Odyssey that will grab your attention with its fast-moving narrative. You won't be able to put this masterpiece down. When the Dust Settled by Joe Potosi. Go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or Zulin Press.
Hi, this is Tiffany Warner, your host of Moments of Clarity. Living with a mental health disorder is not easy. If you or someone you know are struggling with this, please know it's so important to seek treatment, and I'm here to help. Please visit the website at momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com to view blog posts and resources on this site to help educate and inspire you to take action, because there's no shame in seeking help for mental health. While you're there, please take a few seconds to sign up for my email list. You'll get some extremely valuable educational and entertaining content that can be sent right to your inbox each week. Plus, you'll also get instant and free access to my guide on managing your anxiety. You can also follow me on Twitter at MOC with Tiffany and at Facebook at Tiffany Warner. And once again, the website is momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com. Thank you so much for your support and for listening to your show, because change can only come when we stand together as one. Hi, this is Tiffany Warner, your host of Moments of Clarity. I'd like to give a shout out to musician-songwriter Don Lawson, who wrote, produced, and performed all the vocals and instruments on my Moments of Clarity theme song. Don gained his inspiration as a mental health counselor himself. He's always looking for artists to record his songs, and you can hear more of Don's music at reverbnation.com/Don Lawson. You can also check him out on Twitter at Don Lawson Music. Thank you so much, Don, for your contribution to Moments of Clarity and ending the stigma on mental health. It's awesome.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Now back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Warner, licensed mental health counselor. To engage in the conversation, call 866-826-1340. Here's Tiffany.
Hi, and welcome back. And if you're just tuning in, this is Moments of Clarity, and my name's Tiffany Warner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And I'm sitting here with John and Cindy Kolbe, and Cindy is the author of Struggling with Serendipity, and it's a book all about hope and triumph and struggling with not only serendipity, finding the signs in life and going with them, but how to take care of your own mental health as well, and not put yours on the back burner. And I'm going to welcome back to Moments of Clarity, Cindy Kolbe and John Kolbe. Thank you guys so much for being here. So we were talking about the book, and I think we were going to mention something about that, but that Cindy started writing this probably as a therapeutic approach from her daughter being in a tragic accident at a young age, and really overcoming some obstacles as a paraplegic, and ending up on in the Olympics as a swimmer, and going to Harvard, and is now a lawyer, and Stanford, and stuff that, and on top of that, learning how to live again and walk and put her hair up in a ponytail and do, basic tasks. And the book talks a little bit about that, but so much more. And John, what were you going to comment about that?
Initially, Cindy just felt the need to write the story about 10 years ago. And she wrote it third person, and it was a wonderful list of events, the things that have happened to Beth, a lot of serendipity, as we see in the title. I've always known, Cindy is a good writer, a gifted writer, in my opinion. And she made the decision in that process to write the story in first person and write it as a mother's memoir. And, of course, I'm a retired teacher now, and I'm home, and she's writing this, and I watched her for 8 years, literally, daily, work on the story. And she would
8 years, huh?
Yes. And she would hand me things to read, and so for me, just proofing content or whatever, or just she just would want a reaction. I was reading things for the first time that I didn't know, because she was being so honest about her